Look at the weather today. 1 minute the sun is shining, and the next minute a big cloud covers it, and it feels cool.
I know what you mean. It feels like the seasons are changing. This morning, when I left my apartment, the air felt different. It felt crisp. It feels like autumn is just around the corner.
It definitely does. Yesterday felt like the middle of summer, but today feels like the first day of autumn. I love living in a country where you can really feel the four distinct seasons.
Me too. Each one has such a different character and a different feeling. It makes me think of a big question. I do not think I have ever asked you this before. What is your favorite season of the year?
That is a great question. I think I have a clear favorite, but you go first. What is yours?
For me, the answer is very easy. My absolute number one favorite season, without a doubt, is autumn.
Autumn. That is interesting. Many people find autumn a little bit sad because it is the end of summer.
I can understand that. But for me, it is the most beautiful and cozy time of the year. I just love it.
So, you have to tell me, what is it about autumn that you love so much?
Where do I even begin? I think it is a very sensory season. It is all about the feelings, the smells, and the sights.
Can you give me some examples?
Of course. My favorite thing is the air. In the summer, the air can be hot and heavy. But in autumn, the air becomes cool, crisp, and fresh. It feels so clean and energizing to breathe.
That is a lovely way to describe it. The crisp autumn air. And what about the sights?
The sights are the most magical part. I love the colors of autumn. The leaves on the trees turn from green into the most incredible shades of yellow, orange, and deep red. A walk in the park or in the forest feels like walking through a beautiful painting.
The autumn foliage is very beautiful. And what about the sounds?
I even love the sounds of autumn. My favorite sound is the sound of walking through dry leaves. That crunchy, rustling sound is so satisfying. It is one of the best sounds in the world.
You are painting a very romantic picture of autumn. You have clearly thought about this a lot.
So, what are your favorite activities to do in the autumn? How do you make the most of your favorite season?
As you can probably guess, my favorite activity is going for long walks or hikes in the Vienna woods, the Wienerwald. It is the best place to see all the beautiful changing colors of the leaves.
A walk in the woods on a crisp autumn day does sound perfect.
It is. And after a long, cold walk, the best feeling in the world is to come home to a warm, cozy apartment. For me, autumn is the beginning of the cozy season.
The cozy season. I like that. What does it involve?
It involves all the best things. It is the time of year when you can finally wear your favorite comfortable chunky sweaters and warm socks. It is the perfect excuse to stay inside on a rainy day, light some candles, and read a good book.
That sounds very relaxing.
It is. It is the season for hygge, as they say in Denmark. It is a feeling of comfort, warmth, and contentment. It is also the best season for hot drinks. I love sitting in a cozy cafe just like this one and drinking a hot chocolate or a spiced chai latte while I watch the rain outside.
You have made a very strong case for autumn. It sounds like a very beautiful and comforting season.
I have to admit, you have almost convinced me that autumn is the best season. You describe it so beautifully.
But I can hear a but in your voice. You are not completely convinced?
Not completely. I do love all the things you mentioned. The colors are beautiful, and I love wearing a cozy sweater. But for me, there is always a little bit of sadness in autumn,
Why the sadness?
because it signals that the summer is over, and it means that the cold, dark days of winter are coming soon. It feels like the world is preparing to go to sleep.
That is a very poetic way to put it. I see it more as a time of harvest and gentle transition, but I can understand your perspective. So, if autumn is not your favorite season, what is?
For me, the answer is very easy. My absolute #1 favorite season is summer.
Summer! I should have guessed. You are definitely a summer person. You always seem so happy when the sun is shining. So, you have to do the same for me. Tell me all the reasons why you love the summer so much.
I would be happy to. For me, it is all about the feeling of freedom and energy. I love the long days and the short nights.
You like the long hours of daylight?
I love them. I love that it is still light outside at 9 o'clock in the evening. It makes you feel like the day is full of possibilities. You have so much more time to do things after work.
That is true. The long evenings are a big advantage. And what about the weather?
Of course, the weather is the best part. I love the heat and the sunshine. I love being able to leave the house with just a t-shirt and shorts. You do not have to worry about carrying a heavy jacket or an umbrella. Life just feels simpler and lighter in the summer.
And what about your favorite summer activities?
My favorite thing to do on a hot summer weekend is to go swimming. I love going to the Alte Donau here in Vienna with friends and just spending the whole day swimming in the cool water and lying in the sun.
That does sound like a perfect summer day.
It is. I also love the social side of summer. It is the season for barbecues in the park, for sitting in outdoor cafes, and for eating ice cream. Everything just feels more relaxed, social, and happy.
You have made a very strong case for summer. The long, sunny days and the outdoor activities are wonderful. But I have to be the devil's advocate here. Summer is not perfect. It also has some disadvantages.
Really? What could be bad about summer?
Well, for a start, sometimes the heat can be too much. I love warm weather, but when it is 35 degrees Celsius for a whole week and it is very hot and humid, it can be very uncomfortable.
I suppose that is true. It can be difficult to sleep on those very hot nights.
It can. And the city can feel very hot and sticky. Another downside for me is that the city becomes very crowded with tourists in the summer. It can be difficult to find a quiet spot in your favorite park or cafe.
That is a good point. The city center can be very busy in July and August. And what is your final argument against summer?
My final and perhaps most important argument is one little word: mosquitoes.
You have a very strong point there. I hate mosquitoes. They can really ruin a beautiful warm evening outside.
They can. So, while I love many things about summer, I do not think it is the perfect season. The heat, the crowds, and the insects are all significant cons for me.
Okay, so you are the president of the Autumn Fan Club, and I am the president of the Summer Fan Club. We have 2 seasons left to discuss. What are your thoughts on winter?
Winter. I have a very complicated love-hate relationship with winter.
A love-hate relationship? How so?
Well, I love the beginning of winter. The period from late November until the end of December is truly magical here in Vienna.
You are talking about the Christmas season.
Exactly. I love it when it gets cold and you see the first snowfall of the year. When the whole city is covered in a beautiful white blanket of snow, it is so quiet and peaceful.
The first snow is always a very special moment.
It is. And of course, I absolutely love the Christmas markets. Walking through a Christmas market in the evening with all the beautiful lights, drinking a warm mug of punch, and smelling the roasted chestnuts, that is a truly magical experience. It is my favorite part of winter.
The Christmas markets in Vienna are world famous, and they are a big reason to love the beginning of winter. So, you love the beginning of winter with the snow and the Christmas markets. What is the part of winter that you hate?
I think you can guess. It is the part that comes after Christmas, the long, dark months of January and February.
Ah, yes. After all the festive lights are taken down.
Exactly. The magic is over, but the cold weather is still here. The days are so short, and it is often dark when you go to work in the morning, and already dark when you come home in the evening.
I agree. The lack of daylight in those months can be very difficult. It can really affect your mood and your energy levels.
It can, and often the beautiful white snow turns into gray, dirty slush on the streets. Everything can feel a little bit gray and depressing in January and February. That is the part of winter that I find very challenging. I am always counting the days until it is over.
Me too. I find those 2 months to be the hardest part of the whole year. So, we agree that winter has some very high highs and some very low lows.
That is a perfect summary. So we have discussed autumn, summer, and winter. There is only one season left to talk about, the season of hope and new beginnings, spring.
Spring! What are your feelings about the springtime?
I think everybody loves spring. How can you not love it? After the long, cold winter, it feels like the whole world is waking up again.
That is a beautiful way to describe it. It really does feel like a new start. What is your favorite thing about spring?
My favorite thing is seeing the first signs of nature returning. I love seeing the first brave little snowdrop flowers pushing through the cold ground. And I love watching the trees. One day they are bare, and then suddenly you see the tiny green buds appearing on the branches.
And a few weeks later, everything is green again. It is a wonderful transformation to watch.
It is. I also love that the days start to get longer and warmer. You can finally leave your big winter coat at home. You can hear the birds singing in the morning again. It just fills you with a feeling of optimism and happiness.
I agree with all of that. Spring is a beautiful season. It is full of promise. It is probably my second favorite season after summer.
I think it might be my second favorite too, after autumn. It seems we have finally found something we can completely agree on.
It seems so. We are both on Team Spring as our second choice. So, after this long and detailed discussion, what have we learned?
I think we have learned that every season has its own special beauty and its own unique challenges. There is no one perfect season.
That is very true. Autumn has the beautiful colors, but the sadness of summer ending. Summer has the sunshine and freedom, but also the uncomfortable heat and the mosquitoes.
And winter has the magic of Christmas, but also the long, dark days of January. And spring has the wonderful feeling of new life, but it can also be very rainy and unpredictable.
So maybe the best thing is not to have a favorite season. Maybe the best thing is just to appreciate the good things about each one as it comes.
I think that is a very wise conclusion. It is the cycle of the seasons, the constant change, that makes the year so interesting. If it was summer all the time, we might get bored of it.
You were right. The cold of winter makes you appreciate the warmth of spring, and the heat of summer makes you look forward to the cool, crisp air of autumn.
Exactly. We are very lucky to live in a place like Austria where we can experience all four seasons so distinctly.
We certainly are. Well, this has been a wonderful conversation. It has made me appreciate my least favorite seasons a little bit more.
Me too. Now, let's go outside and enjoy this beautiful late summer, early autumn day. It is the best of both our favorite worlds.